Hello and welcome to My Soul Tribe Tarot. We're going to do kind of a general message looking into the compatibility of a connection. Now, this is a template and this was a request, and I'm really excited about it. I've already pulled the cards and we're going to dive into the compatibility of a connection here. So again, remember that this is collective in general. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. We're looking into the current energy now as when you are watching this video. So timelines can shift and change with your free will choice, and the same with others, right? So nothing is concrete. The whole point of this is to get a little bit of an outline and look into the potential, or validate kind of your own experience and what is showing up for you, right? So it's meant to be empowering. Again, only receive what aligns, release anything that doesn't align with you. There will be an extended. We're going to actually look into the soul contract and a little bit more deeper into the connection and the relationship, and the good that can come from it, what you can teach each other, and just dive a little bit deeper, get more curious, okay? If you are interested in the extended, that'll be available. My extended videos only, linked below in the description box. So let's get into it. I'm so excited. So we start out, and I feel like this is you, the viewer. Of course, you could flip these energies how they align with you, but starting out where you're at on your journey is you, the muse. Okay, so right now you're in this beautiful, blooming energy where you're inspired by yourself. You are inspired in ways that don't necessarily require other people, right? You're not looking for external validation. A lot of the value that's within your life is coming from within you, okay? You're reflecting on your journey like the lotus that, comes up out of the mud, right? You are looking at what you've transmuted, and you have this self-love and compassion and this gentleness and this beauty and this light right now, okay, with you, the muse. So you are inspired, okay? You are courageous in your vulnerability. You are blooming in your experience at this time, okay? So that's kind of where you're at on your journey. And to kind of further clarify who you are, to resonate with which energy you connect with, we have the spiritual seeker, devotee of the inner path, meditation, insight, and practice, right? So you're ascending, you're focusing on your energy, you're focusing on elevating your life, you're focusing on your life purpose, your soul mission. It's beautiful energy that is coming through from you. Okay, so I feel like you're very focused on your goals. You're very aligned in what you're doing. Now, this person that is the love interest that you're connecting with, we have you are the light. So this person is still kind of discovering their light. I feel like they're more so on the beginning of a self-love journey, or understanding who they are. Okay. We also have limitations, inspire, innovation. So they are having some challenges. We do have the Ascension energy here. They have some things to heal. We have the pink and green energy that's coming through. So with that pink and green, that reminds me of the heart chakra. Okay. We also have make a mission statement for your soul. So this person is still figuring out, I feel like they're quite driven, but they're still figuring out the direction of their experience, of their life, why they're on earth, right? They might have recently gone through some sort of shifts or changes or some sort of spiritual awakening, but they are kind of looking at the direction that they want to go in. And with this beautiful orange energy, that's connected with the creativity and the sacral, that's connected in, there's a bit of root energy too. So I feel like this person's still figuring out who they are as a soul, why they are here. It feels like they're on the beginning of a journey, or they're starting to understand more about themselves and define who they are. Clarifying who this person is, they could be younger than you, or they could be a younger soul. We have vitality, innovation, potential, and growth, right? So there's a lot of potential within this person, within their experience. It could be somebody who likes extreme sports, right? I don't feel like there's any sort of, I feel like this person they don't have a lot of fear necessarily within them, at least from what they're showing here with this energy. They might have some challenges. They might have some questions. They might have some, obstacles in their life, as everyone does. But they could be a starseed as well, I'm hearing. Okay. They could also be someone who's more fun driven than, with like the youthful energy, they're more fun driven than they are goal driven. Like they're still like adventuring. They're still kind of like exploring. They just kind of have that youthful spirit. And for some of you, it doesn't have to be that this person is younger than you. It could just be their soul is younger, right? Or they've gone through maybe recently some sort of rebirth where they have released an old sense of self and they're coming into this new version of themselves. It can be that as well. But we have innovation coming through twice. So this person can be quite innovative, okay, or inspired by challenges. But I'm not receiving a lot of fear. Like there could be some, again, like they could be motivated by fun or motivated more so by like instant gratification. That could be, a difference here. Now, when we get into how you feel about this person, we have longing, yearning, wistful, and homesick. So for some of you, you're feeling like something's lacking in this connection, right? Or it could be that you are feeling more connected to this person at this time than maybe they are to you. But more so, it's like, I feel like you long for more. That's the energy I'm getting here. Now, this person, how they feel about you is we have resistant, rebellious, defensive, and closed. Okay, so you might also, even though you're very open spiritually, you're very open and on your soul journey, what you're doing when it comes to love, you might be closing things off. You might have something from the past that you still have to close out that chapter. You have to kind of release that there. So this person, is seeing you as being a bit defensive or closed off. And again, they could be projecting that onto you, could be projecting those energies back and forth with each other, right? You both might mirror kind of a stubborn energy where it's like, it has to be your idea, you're very independent in your mindsets, right? Things have to align with you. So when you look at this connection, you're seeing the Ace of Pentacles. You're seeing the value. You're seeing almost like the full value of this connection at this time. And I feel like that's what you're kind of focused on here. You're focused on a bigger picture. Now, this person, we have the Innocence of Pentacles. So this is the Page of Pentacles. So they're not quite as far ahead in their thinking or their planning in this connection than as you are, okay? As you are. And that might be because, their mindset, their attention span maybe is a little shorter, or again, they're more focused on like tomorrow. They're not focused on years down the road at this time. Okay, so that's what I'm getting with this Innocence of Pentacles. They're seeing the value of this, right? They're definitely seeing the seeds that are planted in this connection, but they're not at that Ace of Pentacles, new beginning. So I heard like, try not to put the cart before the horse, right? That expression where put all your eggs in one basket yet, right? But to take things slowly here, because I think you also need to figure out your rhythms. I don't know if like this person's, you're a fire sign and they're an earth sign, or there's some sort of contrasting energy that you would have to kind of balance out with the movement of and the pace of this connection is what I'm sensing. Now, when it comes to what is this connection, we have the Star, which is interesting. So you've been guided to each other, right? You've been guided to each other for a reason. You see hope in each other. You see inspiration. You both might have gone through like towering moments, right? Where you had to go through a lot of darkness, right? And now there's like that healing period. You both could be healing something at this time. Okay. So there is some form of, alignment that is coming through here. Okay. Now this person might want the reward before they put in the work. That's something else that's just coming through that I'm seeing with that resistant energy. When we get into how do you see each other, you see this person with the Five of Pentacles as someone who's kind of trying to improve their life. It could be they're trying to improve their finances, become more confident in who they are, someone who has been through some hardship or, has had their trust broken before. Okay. Maybe this person recently went through some sort of breakup or something that was damaging that they thought would last. I mean, with that diamond that's cracked, it's like they were deceived. They thought they were with a diamond, but perhaps there was somebody who's really fake, right? So that's what I'm kind of sensing that you kind of see from this person as well. We also have the Spirit of Pentacles, but again, like you see this person with the Spirit of Pentacles, that's the King of Pentacles. So you see them in a more mature light than I think they necessarily are. But you see them as responsible, okay? And then we have the Innocence of Wands, but you also see them as playful. There's kind of a balance there. You see this person is kind of working on improving. They could be focused on their career, focused on, again, the direction of their life right now. That's what I'm kind of sensing. For a few of you, maybe this person was engaged before the engagement was called off, or they went through like a really, really bad breakup, right? Maybe that's why we have that healing energy coming through. Now, how they see you is the Three of Pentacles, which is really interesting. They see you as someone who they want to collaborate with, someone who's hardworking, someone who does not back down from a challenge, okay, with that Three of Pentacles. And the seeds that you're planting are growing within this person. So I feel like you do inspire them. We also have the Spirit of Cups, and they see your heart. They see and feel your energy and your love. Okay. I'm also like hearing your wisdom too with this Spirit of Cups energy. So they see and feel your love and that you're hardworking and you're focused and you're dedicated. You're kind of a little bit opposite of this person, right? When we look at the potential of this connection, we have the Chariot energy. Okay. So it feels like, you have the potential to move forward out of the past, both of you. If this is something that you can find your balance and kind of get on the same page within your rhythm, there could be some success here, but there's also self-mastery coming through with that Chariot energy. And I do feel like there's a sense of learning from each other and growing the balance, striking the balance. Sometimes we can have those, like those ego battles in relationships, right? And this feels like it's very early in its development. So this is a very new connection where you're getting to know each other still. But I do feel like you're picking up a lot on each other. But yes, with a Chariot, what's interesting is it's a two-headed horse instead of two horses pulling a chariot and a Pegasus, right? This is teaching you both a lot about yourselves, right? And about the direction that you want to move in. And again, we're just looking at the energy right now, okay? And when we look at I wanted to tap into is this person best for you right now? We have the Universe and the Three of Wands, okay? Now, the Universe is the World card here, so there's definitely some sort of completion of a cycle. Again, you might be assisting each other in completing some sort of cycle and having a new beginning with that Universe. And there's the Three of Wands. There's kind of that view into the future and seeing the potential of this, right? But it's important not to rush. It's important to take your time and be really realistic and honest. It's great to see the potential in people, but also meet them where they're at, right? Because when you sometimes see the potential in them, you can put a pressure on them that's not best for them where they're at on their journey, right? And it can end up kind of disempowering them. But also you don't want to disappoint yourself by, planning your whole future with this person when it's just early days, okay? So I'm going to leave it here. We're going to go into the extended. Thank you so much. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. We're going to dive deeper into this, look into the soul contract, look at more of the challenges that might come up in this connection so far. Thank you so much for being here. Take the best care of yourself. Hopefully I'll see you in the extended.